and see who's cast. Now, just a few days ago, I would have bet you big money it would be Henry Golding. But after Crazy Rich Asians just bombed in China, where Marvel again does big business and wants this movie to do well, expect someone else now to get the role. So close, Henry Golding! Now, if Marvel wasn't so dead set on always casting younger actors, I'd say go with Donnie Yen, as he could be a contemporary to Robert Downey Jr., Sam Jackson, Jeremy Renner, and Paul Rudd. Keep it a nice diverse group there in the MCU. And that includes, of course, age. But I will bet you that no matter what happens with Shang-Chi, Donnie Yen will have some role in this movie. Perhaps Shang-Chi's father. When Deadline broke this news, they wrote up a little bit of a bio about Shang-Chi, and they really emphasized his dad. So I wonder if that didn't come from Disney, being like, talk about his dad, get the dad on the radar. His dad, somewhat of an enemy. And so that sounds like a Donnie Yen role to me. As Donnie Yen has a wonderful Donnie Yen's just wonderful. But he has a wonderful relationship with Disney. First Rogue One, now the upcoming Mulan, and Yen has even spoken about how Marvel is the biggest Disney brand in the Middle Kingdom, because he was like, yeah, Star Wars didn't do so well, but it wasn't a Marvel movie. We love Marvel over in the Middle Kingdom. And so after he did all that, if I were Donnie Yen and I weren't in Shang-Chi, I would be majorly ticked off after all he's done for Disney. All right, so anyway, as with Black Panther, Captain Marvel, and the upcoming Black Widow movie, Feige is looking for a director that matches the lead character. So he wants an Asian American or Asian director for Shang-Chi. They say Asian, but it's gotta be Chinese, because that's the biggest box office. And sure enough, Chinese American Dave Callaham is already scripting. Now, Callaham's biggest proven claim to fame, but I say proven, because they keep listing all these things he's working on coming up. But it's like, and also they were like, he wrote Zombieland 2, parentheses, the initial draft, until it had to be rewritten. I mean, the only thing that he's actually done that we've seen is he helped create the Expendables franchise. But hopefully he's gotten better. He's also pals with Patty Jenkins, and I'm a little miffed that he's one of the reasons that Alan Heinberg, I think, wasn't invited back to make room for this guy, so I'm not the biggest fan at the moment. But congrats to him anyway. Now, Shang-Chi is basically, for those of you who aren't familiar with the character, I talked about this recently, and I made a video about Asian characters for comic book movies. And by the way, I said Aquafina, speaking of Crazy Rich Asians, should be Jubilee. So get on that, Kevin Feige, now that you've got the characters back. But anyway, Shang-Chi is basically a super soldier martial artist. He's like Captain America, but with martial arts. And apparently his father is the one, though, who is like some semi-immortal, at least. We'll see. But he recently, in the comics, Shang-Chi developed the added ability to duplicate himself, plussing the character a little bit. I'd expect other changes to be made, just like they're doing with Captain Marvel, to make Shang-Chi, a more exciting character on the silver screen, and so that he can stand bicep to bicep with the rest of the MCU roster. I mean, China is going to not just want a character who represents, but a character who represents. He's got to be as cool as the main three. The same concern that we have for Captain Marvel, etc. Now, it'll also be interesting to see how the MCU handles things like tone and, of course, their trademark comedic elements, considering the huge differences in taste between